Greetings. In my last video, I made some statements concerning the UN budget cuts and what that means for a possible move by the United Nations out of this country, out of New York, and eventually calling Jerusalem home. That's my opinion. But what does that have to do with end-time events? Especially since Scripture seems to say that the Antichrist will have his base in Babylon. Does that mean Jerusalem is Babylon? No. It means Babylon is a city that is still a viable place for the Antichrist to establish his authority. And Babylon is only 60 miles away, about 60 miles away from Jerusalem. Have you ever played checkers with someone you know you can't beat? They are always 3 moves ahead, and you can't do anything about that. You not only can't win, you won't win. I'm not a prophet, but there could be reason the Antichrist will make Babylon his headquarters during the last half of the tribulation. I believe the Antichrist comes out of the new home of the United Nations, which would be established in Jerusalem within the next 2 years. That's pretty quick stuff. I've mentioned that the UN has said they could move their headquarters totally within a 2-year span. If they said that, then they are prepared to move faster than that. With the United Nations home in Jerusalem, Jerusalem will be a city without walls, according to Ezekiel 38:11. What does this mean? Jerusalem, it seems, will feel safe with the UN in Jerusalem from a political standpoint. Someone will guarantee peace and safety to Jerusalem, to Israel, using the new home of the UN as bait. At the same time, during this new feeling of peace and safety, I believe the leader of the UN will be in the process of establishing the city of Babylon as his place to govern the world. Note I said his place. He will do this for 2 reasons. One, to control, and the other, to proclaim there is no God in heaven. His desire is to control the masses of the world and to be God. He travels from Babylon, about 60 miles away east of Jerusalem, to the rebuilt temple in Jerusalem, or he travels from Babylon to Jerusalem, about 60 miles away, to the rebuilt temple in Jerusalem, and claims there that he is God. Why? Is he playing checkers? Does he think he's got this? Or does it go deeper? Twice in history, Satan has tried to stake the claim he's God. One time in the garden, the other time at the Tower of Babel. It is believed that originally the Garden of Eden had its beginning at the Temple Mount. Isn't it interesting then that men talk about the beauty of the gardens of Babylon, where the tower represented the gateway to the gods? Today the UN is funding, along with the United States of America, state-of-the-art technology using the cloud in Babylon. This will give the Antichrist control of the world over all mankind. Monetarily, he will have control of the wealth of the world. Don't forget, the World Bank has their offices at the UN. Maybe there is a reason for the Bitcoin. Antichrist will go back to Babylon to prove to God in heaven he will establish a new world order from where he already was defeated. Antichrist is playing checkers with the wrong person.